Well, I don't remember anything, but what they told my parents was that I was abandoned by the side of the road. Maybe it's a common theme or something, but someone brought me to an orphanage, and I wasn't adopted until I was 1.5, so I don't remember anything. But my parents tell me that they had to come pick me up at Chicago O'Hare, and only one parent was allowed on the plane. So my mom came to get me, and they'd actually, since my parents had adopted another child previously, a white child from Appleton, Wisconsin, that they asked if anyone was willing to take an older child because everybody else that was adopting at that time wanted babies. So my parents were like, okay, my parents were just so desperate to have another child. They just didn't care. So that's how they got me. But my mom said that there was one poor woman there at the airport that did not get her baby that day, and she can still remember what that woman sounded like as she just sat there crying in the airport. I mean, I can't imagine how horrible that would be. But I guess I was hungry when they met me, downed an entire sandwich that my dad bought out of a vending machine at the airport. And obviously I didn't speak English, so they tried their best to communicate with me. I apparently liked cows for some reason. I have no idea why, because I don't now. My mom had to sleep on the floor with me for a while. I guess I must have done that over there. I don't know. And that was kind of it. I mean, I don't have a lot of information because I don't remember, and just what my parents told me, and I don't know if what they told them was even true. I mean, sometimes it's like, is it better not to know, and then just have this idea of what it could have been or what happened and idealize it. And then with the story they gave us, it's like, well, is it even worth it? Because maybe I won't be able to find anything out. I mean, I think I looked into the paperwork last year, and it's kind of expensive to fill out the forms. And I'm like, well, what if I find out something that I don't want to know? I know I've heard a lot of people that have had that experience, and that kind of scares me, So it's not like I had a bad childhood, that I'm seeking some sort of other. I mean, yeah, there's always that hole of information, but it's not like I never had a good experience, so I'm not looking for that one piece or something. Well, it was a small white town, really, really white. And like I said, I have an adopted sister. She's about 1.5 years older, and she's white. My parents are white. Pretty much everyone in the town was white. So my parents got me, and then there were a couple other families that my parents were friends with at the time that had adopted white children first. And I think they were a little hesitant about foreign adoption, but once I came over and they saw that it wasn't, completely bizarro or anything, they actually both adopted Korean girls. And one of them lived in the same town. So she and I were like best friends forever. We were from kindergarten, even up till now. So, I mean, that was nice to have one person, at least that was sort of like me, in a town full of everybody that wasn't. I never really felt that different growing up for a long time, because maybe I started in the same town and everybody knew me. My parents owned a business, so they probably saw me a lot. I was there a lot. I didn't start to feel really different, I think, until probably junior high, when looks kind of became more important as a girl. And I started seeking help with, makeup and hair and whatever. And there was no one to help me, and the magazines at the time were really white, all the teen magazines, oh, do your makeup like this, whatever. And I was like, please help, somebody needs to help me. And my mother couldn't help me, and my friend and I were in the same boat, so she couldn't help me. We both ended up with some really bad perms, thanks to you're a small white town, of course you're gonna get a perm, right? Not for Asian hair. And I just thought, I mean, that was really a huge struggle for me with how to enjoy being who I was, because I didn't want to be Asian. I didn't want to be different, and I just wanted to be like everybody else. I didn't date in high school or junior high. I blame part of that on being different. And maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe it was something else, but I was a little traumatized by that. But then it didn't start to get bad until about junior year in high school, when the class ahead of me, my sister's class, there were there's just a few boys that, like really redneck boys, that would chase the two of us, my friend and I, around the halls and call us like racial slurs, which I won't repeat because I don't want to say it, but they would just torment us every day. One time they even were at one of the volleyball games I was in, and they were yelling at me from the stands, like racially horrible things. That was definitely the worst, I think, in my childhood, but it's taken me a long time to get over that. But I mean, that did not help with the fact that I wanted to be like everybody else. You know, I wanted the fold in my eyes. I wanted a regular nose that could support a pair of glasses, you know. Just stupid things, you know. I even would try, when there was like a guy that I had a crush on. This is so stupid. I mean, I look back and it's stupid, but if I had a crush on somebody, I'd try to like not be seen from the side because I did not like how I looked from the side, because it was different. And I mean, just stupid, obviously stupid little girl things that are important to you back then. But you know, when I got to college, I was so excited to get out of high school, get out of that town. And I'm like, just get me out of here. My first serious boyfriend was for about 4 years. He was white. You know, I mean, I grew up around white people. That's what I thought was attractive. I didn't really know any other Asian people except for my friend. So I never saw myself as different. But I was. People saw me as different, but I didn't feel different. You know, and I felt like I'd never really belong anywhere, because I didn't belong where I was adopted, because I looked different, even though I didn't feel different. And then I'd never belong if I went back to Korea, because I didn't know anything about it. And I think that my parents, they were busy, and I don't know why they didn't try to integrate, you know, any of the Korean culture or the food or anything. They were just so busy. And I don't know if it was because they just didn't want me to feel more different, especially from my sister, but I didn't grow up with any knowledge of anything Korean. So people would always come up to me, oh, can you say something in Korean? No. You know, can you, you know, what do you know about it? Nothing. And then look at me like, well, you're supposed to know, you're different. Well, I don't know. But like I said, I had this boyfriend for 4 years, and toward the end I asked him if it had ever bothered him that I was different. And he told me that it actually had at the beginning, and I was like, well, that's so weird. You know what I mean? I went to college in a city. It wasn't like a small town thing or anything, but I just thought that was kind of strange. And I didn't figure out a lot of, you know, the things I wanted to figure out about, you know, what to do with my hair, with my makeup, until maybe college at some point, when I finally just figured it out for myself. And then after that one really serious relationship, I actually met my husband on Match.com. And it's funny because he is the one that actually made me feel like being Asian could be a good thing. And up until that point, I always wanted to be different. I always wanted to be like everybody else. Even living in the cities, I don't know, it's because it's what I saw and what I grew up with. But he thought it was the coolest thing ever, you know. He's like, it's so cool that you're different. It's so great that you're Asian. And he just, I don't know, it took him years to get me to realize that it was a good thing. He he's done his work, but he actually kind of created a little bit of a monster. He kind of pushed me over the opposite direction. But yeah, I mean, it's really his doing that finally got me there. It was a really long, hard journey to get there. I have a really good relationship with my parents. My parents are great. I mean, my mom loves kids like no one else. I mean, she wanted to have 6. She grew up in a family of 9. When she found out she couldn't have kids, she was devastated. So, she is amazing. And like I said, I haven't felt the need to search for another mother because I don't need to. I really couldn't have asked for better parents. So I know a lot of people, after having gone on Facebook and becoming a part of the adopted Korean group, have had completely different experiences, and I guess I never imagined that would have happened. I mean, I always assumed that people that were adopted were really wanted because it's a hard process to go through adoption. I thought that everybody that wanted to adopt kids were going to be really great parents, but apparently they weren't. That helped me to realize, too, to be thankful for the childhood and the parents that I had. Sometimes people, they'll hear, they're like, well, you're adopted, so what's the story? And I'll tell them, oh, that's so sad. Well, yeah, it's sad if you sit there and dwell on it forever. I mean, I'm not just going to sit there and cry about it all day, all the time. Kind of over it, at this point. So, I have my own family. I have my own life, and things are pretty good.